Well, from Negewesco Stadium, Pat Olson, Joe Dugan, as we bring you USF Don Soccer. We're right in the midst of the introductions of the lineups. The 2 and 3 Runnin Rebels against the 1 and 3 Dons. Let's pick it up with Mike Richards on the public address microphone, and he'll give you the starters. That's our national anthem here at Negewesco Stadium. The Dons picking up their first win of the season on Thursday, 3-0 over San Jose State, as Leonard Griffin picks up his first victory as the head coach of the Dons. And Joe, this Dons team got off to a little bit of a slow start, but nice to pick up the win here on Thursday. I know you were here in person, so give us your I guess, thumbnail report on that contest on Thursday.
Well, Leonard Griffin is still trying to find his lineup. He's trying to find the pieces that match and connect on his roster. So it's a project in process, but look for them to come out strong today and get their second victory in the books.
Meanwhile, this UNLV team, despite the fact they come in 2-3, they've lost a lot of close games. They lost an overtime game. They lost another game by a goal. So they very well could be a team sitting at 4-1 right now. Their most recent match was a 2-0 win over the Pacific Tigers. So we have a little frame of reference, Joe. They have taken on a West Coast Conference school, and they won.
They did. And for whatever it means, and probably doesn't mean a lot, Pacific inched out a victory over San Jose State 2-1 in overtime. USF beat San Jose State pretty handedly on Thursday night 3-0. So again, probably doesn't mean a whole lot, but in comparison to West Coast teams, there you have it.
All right, well, the Dons are in their gold jerseys here today on this Sunday. Green numerals with the white pants, UNLV, and the nifty striped jerseys. Joe, I like the look of the Runnin Rebels. They have the red and black striped top and the bright red pants and the bright red socks. And you can tell from a mile away that's the UNLV soccer team.
Well, when you say Runnin Rebels, I instantly think of those basketball teams from the late 80s that I know that you knew very, very well. The Runnin Rebels.
So it's the Rebels and the Dons here today at Negoesco Stadium. The second home look here for this USF team after that Thursday win. They're trying to get a little bit of momentum going here under their new first-year head coach, Leonard Griffin. We're underway, and UNLV controls back in their own end.
Well, you said it, Pat. It's all about momentum and developing a rhythm for USF. They really need to dictate the pace of the game offensively and defensively. Let's see if they can do that today.
All right, the UNLV backline controls it. Not a lot of pressure being applied here so far early by USF as it's handled by the UNLV goalie. And then up the near side. And then the ball knocked away, stolen momentarily. UNLV is going to try and track it down. They do. This is Nick Williams, a defender. And it's taken away from Williams by Vanderwerf. Vanderwerf kicks it out top middle where the ball rotates out there to Simeon. Simeon, a big middle back, Joe. He looks like he could be a force here for this USF team.
Well, this is only his third game for USF. He had some paperwork issues. Had to sit out the first two games. But this past game, he really is teaming well in the center back there with his partner and doing a much, much better job than previous games. So again, Leonard Griffin trying to find what works, which players work well in what positions, and can they find that continuity and, more importantly, the rhythm.
Pretty good ball there by Malish for UNLV, but no one really right there in front of the net. But Malish got deep, Joe, that last play, deep in the right side of the box.
And those are very dangerous plays. Often coaches say, cross those balls early, and you create or you find the defense on their heels. And sure enough, like you said, Pat, put the ball right across the face of the goal. Very good opportunity for UNLV.
We're in our second minute, just underway. Dons and Rebels. And this is going to be USF's ball, a kick.
And that's Zion Andrade who got fouled, and it's really nice to see Zion moving up the field. He played the holding midfield position in the years past, or last year I should say, and now he's playing in more advanced position. Very skillful player. Really look for good things from him this year.
Kajitani on the throw for USF, ahead to Vanderwerf. Vanderwerf, a senior from the Netherlands. Whenever I hear the Netherlands in soccer, Joe, I always think of Eric Visser.
Absolutely. They've had some great players come out of the Netherlands, like Eric Visser. A lot of them come out of the Ajax Academy and program.
UNLV's goalie, Lucas Betts. And the Rebels here kind of satisfied for the moment to keep it back in their own end. Ball kicked around to Tyler Allen. Allen being pressured a little bit by Vanderwerf. And then it's Betts, the goalie. Vanderwerf is on him. And Betts gets rid of it. You can see Vanderwerf putting some early pressure on.
Well, this is absolutely one of the strategies for Leonard Griffin and his staff, is to press the team, UNLV, high when they are trying to play out of the back. And that what he's trying to do is dictate the pace of the game.
Harriman clears it out, and then it's over to the big Simeon. Simeon's a big kid, 6 feet, a freshman from Quebec.
And he is via the Mount Verde Academy in Florida, who has recently partnered with the Orlando City from the MLS Academy. Very, very well known and famous academy, particularly for developing some a lot of international talent.
You know, Joe, so far it looks like the two teams just kind of feeling each other out a little bit. The ball has mostly been in the middle third of the field.
Well, typically in the first 10 minutes of the game, each team is trying to find their rhythm and dictate the flow. And like you said, neither team has done that quite yet.
Yeah, neither team really has put a lot of pressure on. UNLV had the one scoring chance. This is Simeon. Nice crossing pass, but a little bit lengthy that time as he tried to find Kajatani.
And that's a really good ball. There was just a little confusion there between who was going to get the ball. That was a really good attacking pass out of the back by Nathan Simeon.
UNLV resetting here right at midfield. Up the left side, this is a header. And the Dons take possession for the moment. We've kind of gone back and forth here in the first 4 minutes or so. Neither team really establishing any sense of momentum early. And as we said it, Joe, the two teams just kind of feeling each other out here in the early moments. Here's Simeon again. You can see he's a factor for this USF team. It's my first soccer broadcast of the year. And so far I'm impressed with the way Simeon's played. We're just 4 minutes in.
Well, he's very confident on the ball, but as a defensive back, he's extremely fast, which makes up for any mistakes in his back line or in front of him.
This is Martin now on the run. Martin trying to squeeze through a couple defenders and could not get through. Ball moves over to Andrade. And now I don't know if we call that a shot or a crossing pass, but it went wide and up over the net from Jaden Reynolds, the freshman from Toronto.
And Jaden Reynolds is a very young player, freshman coming in from Toronto. Very, very good and composed on the ball. Really like to see him get forward like that and take shots. I do think that was a shot, Pat.
We'll call that a shot. What the heck?
Maybe not the most direct shot, but it certainly was a shot. And next time he needs to get that on target.
Yeah, just a little bit wide and strong off to the left side of the net. UNLV now, it goes out of bounds off the Rebels. The Dons will have an opportunity for a throw here. USF from right to left along your viewing screen. Pleasant Sunday, a little bit breezy, but a pretty good day for soccer here.
Beautiful day.
There was I don't know what I should call it, Joe, an alumni game, or I want to use the phrase old-timers game prior to the contest, but I don't want to say old-timer because you were involved in that. There's a chance for USF, shot and save made by Betts. So the Dons had a pretty good run out. But, Joe, how'd that go, the alumni game? We won't use the phrase old-timers.
Extremely successful. There was no injuries. We all walked off the field on our own volition. So I would say that was very successful.
Another opportunity for USF and finally cleared out by the Rebels. Don's had a couple guys right there. Betts was a little bit, kind of in an awkward position, but the Dons could not take advantage.
And that was a fantastic opportunity for USF with Reynolds and Jorge Ruiz, better known as Georgie. But
here's Simeon defensively, Joe.
And you can see this is the pace and the momentum that USF wants to impose on the opponent, UNLV. It's in their best interest to have a high-tempo rhythm, attacking and keeping UNLV on their heels.
By the way, this is the first meeting between these two teams in quite some time. It was way back in 2011, 8 years ago, when the Dons defeated the Rebels 2-1 on the road. So the last time they met was in Las Vegas.
Well, from the outside looking in, and I don't follow UNLV very closely, but they've been a program that's been up and down. When I was here at USF playing, it was a quick, interesting story. They came to town. We were playing on the baseball field because they were renovating Neguesco Field. And they brought their entire marching band down to the baseball field because their football team was in the Bay Area playing football, whether it was Cal or someone else like St. Mary's. And so I think it was the first time I'd ever played in front of a marching band, of like a 50-piece marching band.
Oh, very cool story. All right, we're into our 8th minute now here at Negoesco Stadium. Scoreless contest. USF has applied a little more pressure the last minute or two. They had that one pretty good chance with Betts not in the greatest of positions, but the Rebels managed to clear it out. We welcome those of you joining our broadcast from the greater Las Vegas area, the fans of the Rebels that might have come along board here on the W.TV. Pat Olson with Joe Dugan from the upper press box here at Negoesco Stadium. Oh, let's be truthful. We're on the roof of the press box, right?
We're in the sky box.
The sky box. I love it. This is Tyler Allen. Allen centering pass. And then there he is again. Simeon got a leg on it and just cleared it out for USF.
And that's a really good defensive shape and discipline for USF. USF really needs to improve their team discipline. And what I mean by that is they need to stay together as a team. As the ball shifts, everyone needs to shift and stop or eliminate those wide gaps in the defense where the offense can penetrate.
UNLV throw into the box. A lot of gold jerseys in there to defend for USF. Here's a shot that's deflected and goes out. That may be a corner kick.
It is a corner kick, and any time you can win a corner kick, it's a dangerous position and a good opportunity to score.
Marco Gonzalez will trigger it from the corner, a junior from Las Vegas at a Mission Heights Prep High School. And they blew the whistle, but just a second before he delivered what looked like a pretty good corner. So he'll do it again, Will Gonzalez. A lot of Rebels have bunched their way into the box, so this will be a challenge for USF's goalie now. And it's headed out by the Dons, so USF clears it. Vanderwerf, a pass ahead, but no one there for USF. I think Vanderwerf was expecting more of a run out from his teammates. In particular, I think he thought Tachata might be moving ahead, and Tachata was not sprinting as maybe Vanderwerf had thought.
I agree with you there. Definitely a miscommunication. Lost ball for USF. Let's see how they're going to defend now. It looks like Georgie Ruiz is pressing high. USF is not trying to not let them out of their own half.
Malich gets it back to Williams. Williams is going to be pressured back in the corner. And then this is going to be out of bounds off the Dons, a throw for the Rebels. But USF can maybe put a little press on here, Joe, because the Rebels are throwing back from deep in their own zone.
Well, they haven't shown any ability to break the press yet. So if I'm USF, I'm going to be pressing all day.
Well, USF has stolen the ball away. Tachata at the left side, over to Vanderwerf, left corner. He lines it up, crosses it into the middle. Here's a header on Betts. Save made, ricochet out, and a whistle. Betts not happy with one of his teammates there, it looks like. He was not pleased that was able to be as close as it was to a goal.
And I'm pretty sure he's talking about Jaden Harrison getting the first header, because the second Georgie Ruiz was offsides. But yeah, not happy about that.
So Betts blasts it about 60 yards up the field. Vanderwerf right at midfield. And over to Kajitani. And then ahead to Ruiz. Ruiz had a goal here on Thursday in the 3-0 win over San Jose State. Chata had the other 2 goals, and Chata now getting after it, but UNLV able to take possession. Nico Clausen. Right now you got Chata putting a lot of pressure on Clausen. And then he's going to blast it away. Let's see if we can get a good run from the Rebels. It's going to bounce into the USF goal box and be gathered there by the Dons goalie, Ruben Stiver.
And Ruben Stiver had a really good game. Anytime you have a clean sheet, you get credit for having a good game. But really, as a captain, he is one of the leaders of this team. And even in defeat, I've been watching the games on the road, and the announcers have been saying that he's one of the best players for the USF Dons. Even though there's goals going in, he is really a fabulous goalkeeper. I see a lot of pro potential out of Ruben Stiver.
Right, it's a throw in for UNLV, 0-0. In the 14th minute here on the Hilltop. First half action, Pat Olson next to Joe Dugan. And now the Dons claim possession. Vanderwerf, can he keep it in bounds? He does. Ahead to Ruiz, a little bit strong. And then it's twisted around over to the Rebels. And now UNLV controls. This is Hayden Prasad, a freshman from Henderson, Nevada. That's a suburb of Vegas. Out of Liberty High School. Las Vegas area really is growing
tremendously, just like the Sacramento area in terms of housing. And with that, you have a lot more families and kids playing soccer. You're absolutely right. Tremendous amount of players coming out of the Las Vegas area.
Nice spin here by Billy Jones. Jones gets it up to Gonzalez. Gonzalez, nice pass ahead, but a little bit strong, and it rolls straight to Stiver. That would have been a chance for the Rebels, but just a little bit strong on that ball, and it rolled straight to Stiver.
And I think that was very good, again, team discipline by USF. There was a through ball, but anytime you have a through ball like that, and with the defensive line in the area they are at, fairly high, Ruben Stiver's playing higher, and he intercepted the ball as anticipated.
All right, Chata right in front of Stiver, just outside the goal box. Kind of taking his time, trying to find the right teammate. It's Simeon. And a good blast up the right side. That's a strong through ball, and then goes out off of the Dons. Last touch there by Andrade. Andrade, a sophomore from Brazil. Of course, at this sport, Joe, any Division I team you look at, you're going to see a number of players from different parts of the world. The Dons have Kajitani from Japan, Simeon from Montreal up in Quebec. Got the Brazilian we just mentioned, and of course, the player from the Netherlands. It's a pretty spread around roster for this USF team.
We have Sandro Badara from Germany, and these days, as you said, Pat, you look around rosters on any Division I team across the country, and it's fairly common to have these international players. And if we can blow our own horn here at USF, I think we give Steve Negoesco a tremendous amount of credit for starting that trend. Back in the 60s and 70s when he did it, he was chastised for doing that, not promoting more Americans. But
there's a chance for the Rebels, Joe. And a good job right in the box by Kajitani, but here's a clear chance for UNLV, and then a sliding block on the shot before it even reaches Stiver. Well defended by the Dons, and it comes out near side.
And just to finish my thought, soccer is the world's game, so who's to say it should only be Americans playing soccer? Not at all. I think it's the world's game, and especially in San Francisco being such a diverse city, why not?
Tyler Allen, and Vanderwerf clears it away from Allen, ahead to Ruiz. He's on the run. See if we can do a little give and go here. Ruiz gave it up, but didn't get the ball back. Now way over on the right side, opportunity in the box. Ball being squared up. Ruiz is there, and you can see the frustration, Joe, because he thought he was going to get the ball and a chance at a shot.
Well, that was a tremendous ball by Zion Andrade to Jaden Reynolds. Jaden Reynolds appropriately lays it off, but
maybe to the wrong guy.
Well, the right back was certainly in the right position, Jake Serpa, but just did not get all of that, to say the least.
Here's a foul against the Rebels, a tackle foul, so this is going to be called on Tyler Allen as Vanderwerf hit the turf. Dons under their first-year head coach, Leonard Griffin. Rich Ryerson is the 10th year head coach at UNLV. He's a graduate of UNLV, graduated back in 1987. Eyeing things here is Harriman. Harriman gets it off to Martin and then around to Simeon. Simeon midfield to Chatham. Chatham explosive. He had 2 goals here Thursday in that win over the Spartans.
And this is only his second, maybe his third match of the season. He was recovering from mono over the summer. I think it was 6 or 7 weeks. And, his fitness is not 100%. He hasn't come out of the gate here in this game as he did on Thursday night against San Jose State. You'd like to see him impose himself more on the game because he is a dynamic player for sure.
Here's a free kick for USF with Reynolds moving towards the box. Also up there is Vanderwerf. Dons need to stay onside as the Rebs have their defense set up. It goes into Vanderwerf, gets a leg on it, turns, shot on Betts, save made, right back to Vanderwerf. Another opportunity, and then the Rebels clear it out. Joe, the Dons have had some chances here.
They've had a lot of chances, and good for them for being in the box, taking their chances, putting them on goal. You'd like to see one go in the back of the net eventually.
Yep. Rebels turn. Big blast ahead over the head of Simeon. And that's going to go harmlessly out. And it'll be USF with a throw-in opportunity for, I believe it's Jake Serpa.
UNLV is very similar to a lot of college teams. They don't have any standout players thus far in this game, but they're very well coached. They're playing together, they're moving together, and they're creating opportunities as they go forward. It's nothing special, and it's kind of discombobulated, but it just takes one slip in the back, and then they're through. And so it's a game like this that USF has to be quite careful of. They might be the better team. They might have more possession of the ball. They might have a better rhythm in the game, but it's 0-0.
The Rebels to midfield. And then that kick is too strong on a pass try by UNLV.
But that is a defensive mistake, an undisciplined mistake by USF. Jake Serpa being way too far up the line. If you notice, if we have a replay, he was way off from where the rest of his defenders were. Typically when you come up as a defensive line, you come up together. You go back together. But he was not in line with his center backs.
This is head towards Reynolds. And then out. You can see the time left here. We're a little bit different from the game clock. Our game clock here in the stadium shows 24:40 remaining. So we're off by just a moment or two. Kajitani, nice ball to Reynolds.
Fantastic.
Reynolds centering just a little bit strong, settled down by Chatham. And it looked like we had a Dons player offsides there on that run.
I believe they called a handball as the ball bounced up into Shish's arm.
Okay.
But a really nice ball, as you said, from Taki, left back all the way over to Jaden on the right wing. And then he appropriately, first time touches it, maybe on his second touch, back into the face of the goal for a goal-scoring opportunity for USF. Unfortunately, they could not come away with anything on that.
Well, right now, Joe, the shots are favoring USF. The Dons have 5 shots, and the Rebels with 2 shots so far. So USF has outshot UNLV, but as you stated, it's a 0-0 contest. We're even. Nick Williams. Williams gets the ball ahead, and then this is a little bit strong, and it's kind of a weak off-balance try and easily smothered by Stiver.
But that's a really good build-up by UNLV. You notice the diagonal run from the middle of the field towards the corner flag, throws the defense off, and sure enough, the UNLV forward got through. It wasn't the strongest of shots, but it was an opportunity.
Yeah, that was Malic. He was the player that had the run in the first minute or two here very early on, and Malic looks like a player to keep an eye on.
Yeah, he's 6 foot tall. He's a big experienced player, a senior.
Rebels to midfield. This is a 50-50 ball. Who's going to win it? It's going to go to the Rebels as it goes out off of the Dons. So UNLV will throw in just shy of midfield.
And Jake Serpa did very well to win that ball.
About midway through this first half now and no score. So we have played 22.5 minutes of Division I college soccer. Chatham, Harriman, back over to Chatham. And then up the field, nicely done. Good ball to Andrade. Andrade looking for an open teammate. He holds it. He's going to get double teamed, so he's going to give it off to Harriman and then back to Chatham. So they're moving it around pretty good. Now Simeon, USF controlling here. The tempo, possession. Nice ball to Reynolds. Reynolds up the middle. Reynolds looking for a teammate. Reynolds kicks it off left. Andrade settles it down. And then to Ruiz. And again, you can see the frustration from Ruiz because he felt again he was in a pretty good position. But the ball maybe came to him just a hair late.
But this is really good effort by USF, possessing the ball. Even when they lose the ball, they gain it back within 3 or 5 seconds. Harriman and Simeon in the back, 2 freshman center backs, are doing quite well. The more they play together, more familiar they get, the better they're becoming.
This is Serpa applying pressure now. And UNLV possession for a moment, but controlled right back to the Dons, and then a through kick that's too strong right to the goalie Betts.
Yeah, Cam Martin he didn't hit the ball he wanted to hit. He was trying to find his 2 forwards at their feet. Unfortunately, the ball went high and sailed into UNLV's possession.
21 minutes to play in half number 1. No score on the hilltop from Negoesco Stadium. Pat Olson with Joe Dugan. Now the Rebels with a strong kick up the right side. Strong run, but that was kicked too much towards the center of the field. And an easy chance for Stiver because you had a pretty good run there, Joe, from one of the UNLV forwards. I believe it's John Lynham who got out front. It was Lynham, and they just couldn't find him.
But you notice Ruben Stiver doesn't look bothered. Why? Because he's anticipating that play, and he's playing higher up off his line as he should when UNLV's playing these longer balls.
Ball goes off of Ruiz. Serpa being challenged. Got a couple players right around him, and he gets knocked down and tripped, and that will give USF a chance at a kick. And before the Dons can set the play up, we get a little push and a shove. Ashish Chadha was there, and he wasn't too pleased with what happened.
Well, Ashish got to be a little bit careful. He had a yellow card last game. He doesn't want to get in the books this game. He really wants to focus on the play in the game, because with his focus, USF is able to play their game and execute the strategy that Leonard Griffin has mapped out for the Dons.
All right, Chadha kind of waiting around here. Now he blasted ahead. Right corner, Ruiz. It's too strong past him, and it'll turn over to the Rebels. Just a reminder, USF Don Soccer proudly brought to you by Midas of San Francisco, located just 1 mile from the USF campus on Geary Boulevard. That's Midas of San Francisco. Trust the Midas touch. We have an injured Dons player down, Joe. It might be Ruiz. And the USF trainer out, so we'll tell you that Don Soccer also brought to you by Park and Fly, who has provided more than 50 years of convenient, hassle-free airport parking. Visit pnf.com for discounts on airport parking outside of both San Francisco and Oakland International Airports. That's pnf.com for Park and Fly.
Not sure if Georgie Ruiz strained a muscle. Looks like he's holding the back of his leg. Not a good sign.
Maybe a cramp, huh, Joe? Right along the back side of the thigh.
Let's hope
area.
It's only a cramp and not a hamstring.
Yeah, the way he's reacting doesn't look great for the moment, so the Dons will need to sub in for him. Nothing contest. 19:35 left in the first half. Around the West Coast Conference, you have 2 undefeated teams, San Diego and St. Mary's, both 5-0. And how about that St. Mary's team, Joe? They are ranked number 7 in the country.
Well, and I think they deserve it. Last year, they went through the season without a loss in regulation. You say, how can that be if they didn't win the national championship? They lost to Stanford in penalty kicks, only to eliminate them from the playoffs. So I believe they only lost 1 player to graduation, returning obviously 10 starters. And, they are a team to beat in the WCC for sure.
Toreros and Gales each 5-0. LMU next 3-1. These are all non-conference records, of course. Portland 2-1. Santa Clara at 2-2. Pacific and USF each 1-3. And Gonzaga still in search of its first victory of the year. The Bulldogs are 0-5.
And you really can't put a lot of emphasis on the records.
Because you don't know who everybody's playing, right?
Well, exactly. And even like USF's a good team, but, they had several injuries in their first 2 or 3 games. They had a couple eligibility issues where players could not play. So they didn't have 5 or 6 players who were on the field today in their first 2 or 3 matches. And so is that reflective of their record? Not really.
This is cleared out by Simeon. Boy, Simeon has been a force in the middle. Reynolds, good ball to Vanderwerf. Takes it off his chest. And then Andrade gets tackled, barreled over. Fans here wanted to see a yellow card come out, and it has come out.
Well, the UNLV player is complaining, but he missed the ball and got the player, and all day long that's a yellow card. I think the referee did well there to caution him.
The UNLV player is still arguing. It's Bailey Leatherman. By the way, the sub for Ruiz, Haken Oos. Oos, a freshman from Norway, just more of the international flavor on this USF roster.
And from my personal experience, it's great to have a Norwegian connection back in USF. I played with a lot of Norwegians here, and really made me a better player because of the speed of play they came with.
Here's a header right to the middle. Simeon there. It's cleared out, and then way, way high on the follow blast from Kajitani. And it will be possession to the Rebels and a goal kick here for Lucas Betts, the sophomore goalie out of Germany. Betts trying to kind of quarterback his team here, telling guys where to go. He's taking his time with the kick. He's still giving directions. You can see him with the left hand, and he kicks it that way, and it goes right off the head of a Dons player. USF. Reynolds there, but it goes away from Jaden. And the Rebels have it. Dons have controlled a lot of the possession here, though, the last, 10, 12 minutes or so. And case in point, Joe, UNLV had spread it pretty well, but the kick ahead too strong right to Stiver.
Well, they're not showing much as they go forward, UNLV Rebels. They're really dispossessing themselves as they go forward. USF, like you said, possessing most of the ball. Let's see if they can come away with something here.
It looks like Oos is offside. Oos did his best. Joe, you could see that ball going up in the air, and you could see him trying to wait and stay onside. But unfortunately, he got behind the Rebels line. It's an offside call, and it's the ball over to the Rebels here.
I agree. He did try to hold that run up as much as possible. Wasn't able to do it as the ball came to his feet.
Well, sometimes for these forwards, Joe, their instinct is to get up the field, right?
Absolutely.
And you can try all you want to, try and slow down that adrenaline, and sometimes you still end up being on offsides. Little tangle here involving the Rebels' Skylar Gu. Kind of getting after it a little bit with Kajitani. Kajitani will throw it in. We're approaching 16:45 to play, half number 1. Ahead to Vanderwerf, trying to find Oos, but he couldn't get it off his chest quick enough. Now Andrade ahead to Reynolds. Can he get there? He cannot. But it's taken away, intercepted by Oos. Turn shot, save made by Betts.
Really nice ball and good shot by USF. Unfortunately, right to the goalie.
Yeah, right at Betts. Betts is...
He's fired up and ready to go, isn't he?
He's been pretty good, Joe. And what we've liked about him so far is the way he directs his team when he's got the ball in the box and he's lining up for a goal kick.
And that's exactly what you want out of your goalkeeper. You want a leader in the back. They've got the best view of the field, and you really want a leader back there, and it certainly seems like Betts is every bit of a leader.
This will come over to the Rebels now. Shots, 7 shots from USF, 3 shots attempted by the Rebels. But no score here from Negoesco Stadium.
And I don't think Leonard Griffin's going to be very happy if this goes into the locker room at halftime as 0-0. You could say USF deserves a goal, but you can't say that because they haven't scored. And that's the game of football or soccer. You really have to earn it, and they have to put their chances away.
Dons are next in action Thursday on the road at Sacramento State. Next home game for the men here at Negoesco Stadium is a week from today against Fullerton. A little bit later start, a 5 p.m. start, and a match that will probably see the lights maybe take effect before you get into the second half. Starting to get darker a little bit earlier.
Every day we lose a little bit of daylight, don't we?
Yep.
Isn't that California law closer to passing?
Which law is that now?
Which is to get away with changing the clocks?
Yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah, here's Andrade. Andrade to Reynolds. Reynolds squaring up. Gets the ball right in the middle towards Vanderwerf, but a Rebel is there to clear it. Now Martin's turn. And USF really controlling. You said it, Joe. They give the ball up, but not long. They take their ball possession right back from UNLV. Here come the Rebs, and here's Vanderwerf.
And USF doing a very good job of regaining the ball after they lose it in a very short amount of time.
Boy, that was a tackle there that Oos didn't like. He was grabbed hard, and it's a very delayed call.
He's gone.
A late yellow card, and now a red card has been given to Nick Williams, the defender from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Williams not happy at all.
And unfortunately, I don't think the referee had any other choice but to give him a yellow card. He clearly held the player. Not sure if we have a replay here.
Yeah, here it is right here, Joe.
And, he's already on a yellow card. You can't do that. I mean, that's really a pretty clear decision by the referee, not a controversial decision. He held the player. It's a yellow card. 2 yellow cards make a red. He's gone.
Yep, so he's out of the contest.
You don't like to see that so early in the game. You don't like to see a disadvantage, but that's the rules of the game. Now, if you're USF, do you change strategy, or do you continue doing what you're doing? Do you push one of your back four up, try to get a goal before halftime, which may leave you exposed in the back? What do? Do you change, or you stay the same?
Well, we'll find out.
And that's the beauty of our position.
Yeah.
We don't have to make those decisions.
Nope. That's going to be all up to Leonard Griffin in his first year here on the Hilltop. So it'll be a free kick for USF. It looked like it was going to be Chata, and now coming over instead might be Cameron Martin here.
Well, if I'm Leonard Griffin, I'm happy with the way they're playing. Am I happy that 0-0? No. But I wouldn't change a thing because I think they're getting forward enough. They just need to finish their chances.
Here's a good ball in the box to Reynolds. It ricochets off him and out. And that's a goal kick. That's one of those balls what could have been, either way, you get a chance at a corner kick. And, of course, in this sport at this level, corner kicks are so dangerous.
They really are. A lot of goalies aren't particularly strong in the air, and there's a lot of traffic attacking the goalie. So it's a difficult thing. But like you said, a very good goal-scoring opportunity for the team taking the corner kicks.
So UNLV, the Rebs get it up the field, and it just rolls right across the foot of Timo Malic. And we've referenced him a couple of times. Malic, a senior from Germany, has had a couple of runouts. Oos being grabbed and tackled from behind by Tyler Allen.
And not just pulled and tagged, but right in front of the referee. Not sure if they are learning from their last yellow card.
Here's Serpa. Serpa centers it towards Andrade. Ball high up in the air. Martin still in the box.
Yeah.
Kind of a wheel kick, a bicycle try by Oos, but nothing doing, and it's Rebels possession.
And I think the referee got that right. High kick on USF. Good opportunity for the bicycle kick. Unfortunately, the player's foot almost met the defender's face.
Yep. Here's Betts now to clear it out on the goal kick. It comes right back to Betts from Jake Meacham. I think that Meacham, Jake Meacham, a sophomore from Las Vegas. He's at a Centennial High School. So now the official getting upset because we just talked about Meacham, Joe. He's trying to argue with the official for a yellow card. From our location, we're up here in the upper press box. You could hear the official clearly come over and say, "You don't tell me to pull a yellow card." And now he does pull one. He pulls it on Vanderwerf.
And this is the discipline that USF needs to have. And yellow cards for dissent, absolutely not what Leonard Griffin is preaching his players. Really, really not good by USF getting a yellow card in a play like that, where the yellow card wasn't on the foul itself, it was on dissent from another player. USF had 6 yellow cards, if not 7, on Thursday night. I know that's something that Leonard Griffin and his staff have addressed and want to improve.
Ball in the box, dangerous. Chance for the Rebels. It's bouncing around off of Kajitani and out. So now the Rebels will have an opportunity. They'll throw it in. The throw-in will be executed by Meacham. And then this is out off of the Rebels, and it's the Dons' turn, and UNLV will head the other way. 11 and a half minutes to go till halftime. No score on the Hilltop. Pat Olson, Joe Dugan bringing you USF Dons soccer. Our broadcast brought to you by Provident Credit Union. Hey fans, you want a checking account that pays you? Provident Credit Union's Super Reward checking account pays 2% interest, features no fees. Visit providentchecking.com. Here comes UNLV at midfield. And ahead, but got a couple guys in gold. Shot wide left. Good chance there for UNLV. However, you had a sense, Joe, that Simeon was right there with the forward for the Rebels. The forward that time, Brian Martinez Serrano.
And that is exactly why you can't take your foot off the pedal if you're USF. One little slip up like that, and it could be 1-0 for UNLV.
Good run ahead, but it's going to get to Stiver first. That was Tyler Allen on the run. But the ball got beyond him, and now Simeon controls for USF. And ahead to Shada. Shada, good ball. Andrade, is he onside? He is, but it reaches Betts and gets over Andrade.
You know, that's not USF style to play that long direct ball, but man, that was close.
Very close. Andrade probably felt like he had a pretty good opportunity.
Had he taken that down at his foot, that's a goal.
We're under 10 minutes to go in the half. Half number 1 here on the Hilltop. The USF women's team played today. They lost a heartbreaker in overtime, 2-1 at Northeastern. So Jim Millender's women's team now at 5-3. They're home this Friday against Montana, 7 o'clock.
And they had a fantastic win on Friday versus Harvard at Harvard. I believe that was a 3-1 victory.
3-1 over Harvard.
Micaiah Madison getting 2 goals,
and
Samantha Jennings getting 1. And, you know, Jim Millender, if you ask him about Micaiah Madison, he'll just say she is on a different level. She is so fast, scoring goals, beating defenders. It's really, really fun to watch. In my opinion, she's an All-American candidate all day long.
Oos lost control out of bounds. Rebels possession, now 8:45 to go in the half, and still nothing here. Dons have owned the action, really. They've outshot the Rebels. They've had more time of possession. They've had chances, but they have not found the back of the net yet.
And this is something that Leonard Griffin's going to be preaching. You need to take advantage of these opportunities. These opportunities don't come around. I mean, the second half can be a totally different game. And, you know, if you ask USF, should they be up? They're going to tell you yes. Do I think so as well? Yes, but they're not. And so they need to get more aggressive and have a little bit more urgency in their attack.
Sandro Bradera in for USF. Bradera trying to run ahead. He's looking for a teammate to get it to him. And this is left side to Reynolds. He has to wait on it. Reynolds has some space. He settles it down. He took a little bit too long. And now Martin wide left. He had a great chance, and he just misshot it.
And that's a really good attack. 3-4 players getting involved in the attack. Jaden Reynolds' first touch is just great. and then he lays the ball off. Cameron Martin having a very good opportunity to hit the ball on target, unfortunately just wide. You love to see Cameron Martin involved more in the play because he is an attacking player, and you just like to see him attack more. Sometimes you feel like he's being a little bit too conservative, trying to hold that defensive position in the middle. Like to see him just get forward and support Sandro Badara, Zion Andrade a little bit more.
We'll go under the 7-minute mark now. Under 7 minutes to go till halftime, and still nothing here on the hilltop. This is taken away by Reynolds. Good ball ahead now. Right side pass. Oos didn't get much on it. I think he was on such a full head of steam, he didn't really have a chance to slow down and get a lot of mustard on the shot, and the Rebels are there.
I think he was trying to pull that back, and very difficult, like you said, when you're going so fast, he's trying to get his hips around the ball so he can pull the ball back. Unfortunately, on this surface, just very, very difficult.
6:20 to go in the half. Just a reminder, Coca-Cola, the official soft drink, and Powerade, the official sports drink for USF Athletics. We have a substitution call here. It's going to be for the Rebels.
And speaking of any change in strategy, we don't see USF taking anything out of the back and putting them forward. It's still 4 in the back as far as we can tell. Still 3 in the middle and 3 up top.
Connor Ryan was the sub in for the Rebels under head coach Rich Ryerson. Rebels at 2-3. The Dons are 1-3. Dons open up West Coast Conference play in October next month on the 12th in a road match at San Diego. That will not be easy. The Toreros are off to a nice start. They're 5-0. Of course, non-conference play is a little bit different than when you get to the league games. Here comes USF again on a run. This ball way too strong and ahead to the goalie, Betts.
And that's Zion Andrade, left footer, really trying to bend that outside in. Unfortunately, it didn't bend in.
Under 5 minutes to go in the half. Shots favoring USF 9-4. Score even, 0-0. Andrade. He's got Oos running ahead up the right side. I don't think you saw him. Oos had broken free. There was no Rebels on him.
But there's also closing space there for Oos up front.
Yeah.
So I think he was wise to go back, reset, find the space on the left-hand side of the pitch here.
Here's Chata trying to get it ahead to Oos. And it's going to go out of bounds. Last touch there by James Dry. And UNLV comes into Chata. Now Andrade, a lot of Rebs around here though. So the Dons will have to try and find a seam. They can't. And the Rebels clear it out. Dons will reset at midfield. Harriman over to Simeon. And now Chata, he eyes the defense. He's got a little space. And he's going to send it back out to Harriman for a reset. Right at midfield. Harriman swings left over to Reynolds. Reynolds eyeballing that defense. Now he finds Chata right in the middle of the field. He's got some space ahead to Andrade, but Andrade could not control it, and it's claimed by UNLV. And then Chata right there in the middle of things, got a foot on it, but it goes out off of Chata, and it will be UNLV possession for a throw-in with now just over 3 minutes to go in the half.
USF's just got to find a way to put the ball in the back of the net. They've really had, I don't know if we're tracking the time of possession, but really the vast majority of the possession, just nothing to show for it. They just, again, need to show more urgency in their final third.
Now we're under 3 minutes to go in the half. Clausen with a free kick opportunity, the German. And that's a good ball. Very nice ball. Deflects around, goes out of bounds. And it'll be a corner for the Rebels. Dangerous ball there, Joe.
Very dangerous because not only is it a corner, but it bounced right into the chest of the USF player, which it could have hit the arm.
So UNLV will have an opportunity now here on a corner. It's their second corner kick of the contest. And again, it's going to be Clausen, the German, to trigger it from the corner. He had a good kick last time, and this looks a little bit strong, and it goes straight across the field and out. So he delivered that one a bit too high, but it was last touched by a Dons player, so the Rebels will throw it in. But you'd like to get the ball a little bit more down in front of the goal box than Clausen did that time. So this, in essence, is almost like a corner here with the throw-in so deep into the field. Wind's starting to kick up a little bit here. Of course, we get a little bit more breeze up here on the top of the press box than they do at field level. This throw-in goes into the box. Quick turn header cleared by Reynolds. And that's going to go out off Reynolds. The Rebels will throw in just shy of midfield, but we're down to 1:15 to go in the half. I would think, Joe, the Rebels will be satisfied with this score.
Well, certainly being a man down. I think they've been a man down now, what, Pat, for another...
for about 10 minutes or so, probably.
I was going to say 15 or whatever it is. Yes, I think they will be happy going into halftime with a 0-0 scoreline.
Especially being, as you said, Joe, short a man with the red card earlier. The red card going to a redshirt freshman defender, Nick Williams. And so UNLV a man short. USF almost looked like they had a little more hop in their step, Joe, when they were even than since they've gone up a man.
Yeah.
Because UNLV has had some chances. Another one here in the box. And UNLV offsides. So the front forward got a bit too deep. The offsides may have been Billy Jones. He's actually a defender who was way up ahead. Yeah, it was Billy Jones offside. He's a backline defender. He got out in front of everybody. Now down to under 15 seconds to go. Simeon. So we're going to be 0-0 at halftime. The Dons are happy to just watch the clock expire here. No push. They don't have time. So we hit halftime. We'll take a break on our broadcast. It is 0-0 on the hilltop after 45 minutes of soccer. Pat Olson, Joe Dugan. We'll be back momentarily with half number 2 right here on the W.TV.
we meet
Sorry if I haven't been.
Good, are you? I don't think so.
Good luck.
Can you ask them to get us a box up here too, Woo, when you walk out? Well, Pat Olson with you once again from Negoesco Stadium, just moments from the start of half number 2, and it was just a couple of seconds ago that our very own Joe Dugan had a chance to catch up with Leonard Griffin down on the field. Here's Joe.
I'm here with Coach Leonard Griffin. They've had a man sent off fairly early in the first half. Do you change strategy, or do you continue with what you've had? Because you've had a lot of the possession, unfortunately, nothing to show for it.
Yeah, I think we stick with a similar strategy with a little bit more urgency, right? I want to make sure we can take the game to them a little bit more now, but that we stay focused and tuned in and not give up anything easy. So a little bit of the same, but hopefully a little bit more urgency to get after them and finish some opportunities.
So you're going to come out with the same 4-3-3?
Correct, yeah. Yeah.
Go after him, Coach.
And get after him.
All right. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Joe.
And Pat, back to you in the booth.
All right, Joe back with us up here in the broadcast booth as we get set now to start half number 2. And Joe, as we're just underway in the second half with USF now attacking from left to right on your screen in the home golds, and UNLV in their traveling red and black jerseys from right to left. Your thoughts and keys as we begin this second half?
Well, I think USF needs to control the rhythm of the game. How do they do that? They keep the ball continuously moving amongst their teammates. They need to possess the ball and press the opponent. They need to keep their defensive discipline, and they did for the most part in the first half versus Thursday night. And if they keep their team shape intact offensively and defensively, I think they're going to be successful.
There's a run ahead for the Rebels and grabbed by Reynolds. Reynolds trying to get it ahead to Vanderwerf, and Andrade races to it. Of course, the one thing the Dons probably want to do too, Joe, is take advantage of the fact that they're up a man. There was a red card, about 15 minutes left in the opening half, and the Dons have been unable to take advantage of the fact that they're up one man.
Agreed, but I think that comes with patience and confidence. I don't think that they can go for that home run ball or that home run through ball or that home run attack. I think they need to build up. They need to build up with numbers. And if they do that through the midfield into their offensive third, I think they're going to be successful.
Simeon, and he tried to cross it to his own man and just kicked it out of bounds, looking for Easton Harriman. And that's disappointing for USF because it gives the Rebels an opportunity here.
Right, and that's a refocus moment right there for USF. The angle was all wrong, and obviously a bad pass.
Simeon now ahead to Vanderwerf. Nice kind of no look off the back of the leg pass from Andrade, back to Andrade, and it scoots out of bounds off Andrade. Good tackle there put on by Sam Wren.
Yeah.
A freshman, a big kid, a 6'3" kid from Hawaii. I say kid, young man. But as a freshman, I always think, wow, he's still 18, 19 years old, right?
That's the way we think at our age. But you're right. It was a very good tackle. But USF doing a very, very good job of winning the back of the ball really quickly after losing possession.
Here comes UNLV in a run out, and there he is again, Simeon. We've called his name a lot here this afternoon. No score early in half number 2.
Well, I would look for USF to be on the scoreboard within the first 5 minutes. You know that was Leonard Griffin's halftime speech. We've got to come out pressing. We've got to come out putting the rhythm. We need to impose the rhythm on them. We need to keep them on their heels.
Andrade high shot and way up over the top goalpost. And that was a shot on goal, but it was high.
And really never even challenging the goalkeeper.
Nope. Betts, the goalie for UNLV. 3 minutes have gone by in this second half now. And still a 0-0 contest here on the hilltop from Negoesco Stadium. Now, Joe, we haven't had much of a chance to talk about Leonard Griffin, the Dons' new head coach. Hired back on during the offseason. I think you were kind of involved in that process. What can you tell us about Mr. Griffin in his first year here on the hilltop?
Yeah, I was asked to be part of that process, representing the alumni. I think we have a real winner in Leonard Griffin. He's a coach of high integrity, tremendous amount of experience coaching and playing. He played in the MLS for 8 to 9 years. He has been in the college ranks for the last 10 years. So again, brings a lot to the table. Really, really believes in USF. He had other opportunities, but was really attracted to USF because of the history and everything that's gone on here before, and a lot of things that Steve Neguesco, built the foundation on. So he is going to build on what Eddie Soto did the last 5 years and really try to get this program back to national prominence where we should be.
Of course, the program under the direction of Eddie Soto the few years prior. It's a ball ahead to Stiver. He could let it roll and gather it in the goal box, and that's what he'll do. 40 minutes remaining here on the Hilltop.
Sorry, Pat, and that's really important that Ruben Stiver is so high on his box in order to intercept that. Goalies can't just react when they're shot upon. They need to be really that last defender in the lineup.
And you'll see the good goalies come out very aggressively often, and Stiver did that time. Simeon settles it down and then sends it to Serpa on the near side. Serpa kind of looking around at that UNLV shape and seeing where there might be a seam or a hole. And this one is kicked a little bit too long, shot up the left side for Kajitani, but it goes out of bounds.
And a lot of these balls might hold up on a grass pitch, but certainly not on this turf pitch, which is a really, really fast surface.
Well, you had a chance to play on it earlier this morning, right, Joe, in the alumni game?
Well, our speed of play was not quite the same.
Now, I got here when you guys had just finished. Did you guys use the whole field?
Of course not.
Okay, I wanted to know if you were going to run the whole field. You guys played on what, about half the field?
We played possession.
Okay.
We played half the field.
All right, well, that's good. You guys got out here, exercise, get a little run around.
Well, the great thing about...
Everybody stayed healthy?
Great thing about our alumni game is we had a lot of Hall of Famers from the 60s, 70s, 80s, multiple players having won multiple national championships, so always a thrill and an honor to play with these guys.
That was a pretty good chance there, Joe, while we were talking by Vanderwerf, but the ball was just a little bit long for him.
Yeah, and a little bit fast. Again, this surface is extremely fast. Unless there's backspin on a ball like that, 9 times out of 10, it's going to run past the end line.
Well, we have not seen the return of Ruiz. Remember, he went down in the first half with injury. Up here, Joe, I can't pick up the audio of the halftime interview that you did with Leonard, but did you get into the Ruiz injury at all?
We did not, but I saw Georgie at halftime, and I think he's done for the day. It looks like to be a hamstring strain. Hopefully that's all it is and not a pull, but anytime you have a hamstring injury, it's a pretty significant muscle. It's a pretty significant injury. So let's hope in his senior year that he can recover and get back on the field for the Dons.
Yeah, Dons have a few days of rest before their next game. They play Thursday on the road up in Sacramento at Sac State, and then the next home game is a week from today against Cal State Fullerton, a 5 p.m. kickoff next Sunday here at Neguesco Stadium. Here's Serpa. Nice interception as he got in front of the UNLV pass, but the Rebels now turned and attack again. UNLV being pretty aggressive considering they are a man down here to start half number 2.
I couldn't agree with you more, and getting a shot off like that with a man down, to be honest, as a USF Don defense, that's got to be unacceptable.
That was Nico Clausen there attempting the shot. He didn't get a lot on. There was a pretty easy save for Stiver, but nonetheless, as Joe alluded to, is a shot right on goal. 0-0, half number 2. We're about 36:45 remaining here.
With a man down, UNLV is going 4 in the back, 4 in midfield, and 1 up top when they don't have the ball, and then pushing one of those midfielders up when they do have the ball.
Andrade trying to find Serpa, but it's intercepted there by Jake Meacham. Meacham getting a good run up the left side. No one saw him. He had a seam, but they couldn't find him. And now USF comes the other way to Martin. Martin to Andrade. Nice ball for Reynolds. Can he settle it down in the left corner? Reynolds looking. He's got a man in the middle. It's Vanderwerf. And he kicks it wide left. Is that going to be a corner kick? No. It was last touched by Reynolds, and so Betts will get a goal kick. USF, Joe, yeah, they've not had a corner kick here in this contest yet.
They have not. Wow, that's surprising.
Yeah, there's been 2 corner kicks by the Rebels, none for USF so far. And, of course, that sometimes at this level is your best chance to score a goal.
Absolutely. The higher levels you go, the more goals are scored on set pieces like corner kicks.
This is Reynolds again. Reynolds has really had a good game. He's been everywhere. Now Martin trying to steal it away, and here comes Simeon. He's controlled the middle. Simeon, good ball ahead. Chance now for the Dons. You got Andrade in the middle, and it's a shot on Betts, but the save made. That was Sandro Bradara with the shot. He had a good run up the left side, Joe, but he might have been better served to give up the ball into the middle of the field.
Absolutely, but one thing you like to see out of that play is that Sandro Bradara took the ball and took the defender on, got in the box, and then took a shot. Anything can happen in that position. A lot of times players are too easy or too fast to pass the ball, but he went as deep as he could inside the box and then took his chances.
Bradara, a junior from Stuttgart, Germany. Now it's Martin for USF. 10 minutes gone by in half number 2. Still nothing. We're a long way from the end, but this is not a game that USF wants to see go extra the way they've played and being up one man. Here's Andrade. He's got a chance. Turn, shot off the top bar. Oh, so close. It ricochets out to Vanderwerf. He turns, spins, shot, goal! There it is, Vanderwerf.
Vanderwerf really finishing off what Zion Andrade started. Fantastic strike by Zion, and Vanderwerf able to put the ricochet after a nifty move back in the back of the net.
1-0 Dons. The goal will be for Vanderwerf, and on the shot and the ricochet, an assist should be scored to Andrade, and it's 1-0 USF here from Negoesco Stadium. So the Dons get on the board first here. Took all the way into half number 2, and now it changes the feel of the game a little bit, Joe, because you take that 1-0 lead and you have the one-man advantage as well.
Well, let's see how the USF Dons react. Anytime you score a goal, you take your foot off the pedal just a little bit, and that's the opposite of what the coaches want. We see Shayan Sharlagi coming in for USF. Jaden.
Yeah, Sharlagi into the contest for the first time here today, and Sharlagi, a junior from San Bruno out of El Camino High School, so he was recruited from the PAL, the Peninsula Athletic League. That's a big league with 18 schools in it, 3 different divisions.
Jaden Reynolds taking a break. Jaden, like Reynolds, as you said earlier, has been everywhere.
Here's Gonzalez, and he was offsides. So Gonzalez got behind the defensive line a little bit early. It's tough for those forwards. That instinct is to, get up the field, and sometimes you get up too soon and you find yourself offsides.
So if I'm Leonard Griffin right now, I'm saying to my team, keep the tempo high, keep the ball moving, and keep going forward. That's really important. Put them under pressure. Like you said, they only have 10 men. It's really important that they're under pressure.
Well, here's a nice ball ahead. That's Sharlagi. Sharlagi to Andrade. Andrade trying to find space. He kicks it wide left. I think he was thinking of Vanderwerf over there, but he kicked it a bit too strong for him.
Well, to be honest, I think that was a shot, and I don't mind that shot because he went as far as he could into the box, and again, he has a wicked left foot. I think he was looking for more bend out of that ball than the ball gave him. Blame it on the ball. Settled
down by Simeon. And here's a run for Chata. Right side, Sharlagi, and it's going to go wide left. He had a chance. It's still settled down by Vanderwerf. Shot goes up off the back of one of the Rebels and out, which should mean a USF corner kick here.
And again, fantastic cross by Sharlagi on the right-hand side across the face of the goal, and that's exactly where you want to put the ball. Put it in play for your teammates to score or have the opportunity to score a goal. Unfortunately, USF could not come away with the goal on that particular play. But again, very good cross. You see now that goal has opened the game up a little bit. USF continuing to attack.
Here's the replay here, Joe. And you can see right there, boom, just off the backside. Back to live action, the corner. It's delivered into the box. A header try by Andrade. And then a follow kick that goes wide from Kajatani. And Betts and the Rebels escape this time.
Yeah, that was, I thought it was a save by Betts, but the ball must have been out by the time he saved it with his leg. Clearly, UNLV under pressure here.
Betts settling it down, the goalkeeper for the Rebels. 31 minutes to play.
And if UNLV wants to be patient and play around the back like this and wait for USF to come out, I don't think it's going to happen.
1-0 Dons. Dons about shot the Rebels 16-5 here. Rebels now put a little pressure on. Clausen. Gonzalez. Right back towards Gonzalez. And then the Dons are going to be able to get a leg on it. No, there's a chance for Gonzalez. He cannot get to it to quite settle it down, but UNLV still applying pressure. Settled down here nicely by Leatherman. Leatherman kicks it wide into the left. It goes out. It'll be Don's possession. So USF escapes there. UNLV had a chance or two. Substitutions for UNLV as the head coach Rich Ryerson gets in some new players. Hayden Prasad, a freshman, in. And also into the contest is Connor Ryan, a midfielder from Escondido. So a couple of new players enter for the Rebels. UNLV 2 wins, 3 losses. They've played a lot of close matches. The Dons are 1-3. This is really the tightest match USF has been in to this point this season.
Well, you know, you wouldn't know it by the score lines of the first three matches for USF, but some of those games, not all of them, but some of those games, they were in every bit of the match up until halftime, and then things, opened up for the opponent.
Vanderwerf trying to settle it, and he kicks it right off the shin of a defender over to Andrade. He goes into the box. Bradara getting after it, but it's cleared before he can reach it.
And I like that ball by Zion Andrade to put the ball in the goal mouth. Anything can happen. It wasn't a perfect pass, but he hit it low and kept it in front of the goal.
Throw into the box. A lot of Rebels there, and somehow getting the left leg on it with Sharalagi. The save is made, but I don't know how he managed to get a shot off. He had a defender draped all over him.
Did very good to get his hips over that ball and get the ball down on target.
28 minutes, 15 seconds remaining on the Hilltop. And half number 2, 1-0 Dons. USF playing up a man. We had a Rebel who was red carded, removed from the contest in the first half. And this one sails out far side. Dons would love to get a little insurance goal here with 27 minutes to play, 27:45 to go. They have really outplayed UNLV, but just a slim 1-0 lead. Andrade to Sharalagi. Sharalagi dribbling around. Sharalagi still in possession. Now it's Martin's turn. To Andrade, and cleared out by the Rebels. A good header by Sam Wren to clear it out of the box, and it rolls all the way to Stiver. Simeon. Drop it over to Chata. And then swinging around to Harriman. Now Kajatani's turn. Some pressure on Kajatani. And it's moved up and out of bounds. And we'll tell you, hey, Dons fans, do you have ants, mice, other pests? Well, do what USF does. Contact Planet Orange for the Bay Area's best eco-friendly pest control at planetorange.com. Around to Simeon. Good ball ahead to Andrade. Wren was there. Now outside left, Vanderwerf. He settles it. Vanderwerf got a defender on him, into the box. It's cleared by the Rebels.
Yeah, Vanderwerf's got to take that ball down on his left side, get his left-footed crossover. He needs to take more of the space in the offensive third. He's giving the defense the advantage when he cuts it back to his right so high up the field.
Just over 26 minutes to go. Hey fans, be sure and stop by the USF bookstore. Get all your favorite Dons gear. Wear your green and gold with pride. Visit the USF bookstore the next time you're on the USF campus. The USF bookstore. Rebels pushing now all the way into the right corner. And Harriman. And then finally Vanderwerf with a clear. Now Andrade trying to find Bradara. Bradara got to stay on side. He ran ahead of the defensive line. Pass never came to him anyway. Now USF will have a chance for a free kick. Going to move it around the defensive line here. Simeon approaching midfield. And then Chata right at midfield. Outside left to Kajatani. Over to Chata again. Tried to center it to Bradara, but it was kicked out of there by the Rebels. Back over to Simeon. And right now, Joe, you can sense this one-man advantage that USF has. They're really just playing keep away.
You can, but USF has keep making the mistake of trying to split hairs. They just need to find numbers up and attack when they have more numbers than UNLV, and they're going to be more successful.
Here's Charlagi, but it rolls right to Betts rather easily. So Betts able to collect it. Now 24 minutes, 15 seconds to play. Dons up 1-0 over the Rebels, trying to pick up win number 2 of the year. Sam Wren over to Betts, the goalie.
One of the things I was mentioning in the first half, Pat, was USF needs to be more clinical or more urgent in their offensive third. And in my interview with Leonard Griffin, he mentioned the urgency factor. They need to be more urgent and not assume they're going to win this game.
A lot of soccer left to play here at 23 minutes remaining, 23:45 to go. And it's only a 1-goal difference. Yeah, UNLV is a man down. Yeah, the Dons have outshot the Rebels 17-5, but one freaky thing happens and you got a tie game.
That's right.
Strange corner kick, a weird bounce.
Or a weird call in the box.
Yeah, anything, yep. All kinds of things can happen. So the Dons would love to add on. But right now it's the Rebels being the aggressor with possession, trying to get some kind of an attack mounted here, trailing by a goal. Wren, he's got a lot of space. Drops it off on a short pass, and it swings around over to Connor Ryan. And then back in his own zone is a big defender from New Zealand, Billy Jones. Now Ryan again. Outside left to Meacham. And it's going to be a throw for USF.
I believe that's a handball that bounced right into the UNLV player's hand.
Yeah, that was Meacham that touched it with his hand. Midway through half number 2 now, 22.5 minutes to go. Simeon to Bradara, and almost got through to Andrade, but it was intercepted by Jones.
Yeah, Sandro Bradara did get a little flick on that, just wasn't strong enough to get all the way to Zion Andrade.
Nice job by Simeon. Boy, he's been tough on defense. We've talked about him quite a bit during our broadcast. Settled down by Ryan and UNLV. And then intercepted by USF, taken away by Harriman.
And Harriman and Simeon are really coming on as a duo there in the center of the defense for USF. Two freshmen, I think only in their second or third game together. See a bright future there for USF.
This is going to roll back to Betts. A little pressure put on by Bradara, but Betts gets it away over to Wren. And UNLV will assess again here with possession. Strong ball, good run, but a clear out on a header by Vanderwerf.
And if I'm UNLV, I'm going to do that all day because they have not shown any ability to go through the midfield into the offensive third.
Here's a kick wide on a shot. Wide left around Stuyver. Ruben Stuyver, junior goalkeeper from the Netherlands.
And we see just the third substitution today for USF. Looks like Sam Higgins giving Zion Andrade a break. Sam Higgins is I think he's a senior.
A 6'3" junior forward.
Junior, excuse me. Came into camp really fit. Leonard Griffin commented on that, how happy he was to see how much work he had put in over the summer.
Well, we're going to move under 20 minutes to go here in just a moment. I know on our Chiron screen monitor it says 21:50, but here at Negoesco Stadium we're just now moving under 20 minutes to play.
So there's so much emphasis on the league and the up-and-coming conference games. You know, this is really good experience for both teams, but particularly for USF, they need to learn with so many younger players and new players, they need to learn how to manage a game. They need to learn how to put this game away. And especially with a man up, they need to control the tempo and completely control the game.
Here's Higgins. Just coming in a moment ago. Good tackle. Higgins taken down hard.
And that's a fair play, shoulder to shoulder.
Yep. Ahead left side to Hayden Prasad. Prasad over to Malish. Malish had a couple chances early in the contest. Now an interception by Billy Jones.
Haven't really heard from him since the opening whistle. I
Yeah.
mean, to be honest, I mean.
Yeah, we mentioned his name a couple times the first 5 minutes and not much since then.
Right.
Here's Wren. Now over to Betts. Lucas Betts, a sophomore from Germany. And then again to Wren, Sam Wren, a freshman from Hawaii.
And this is the way you need to play as a goalie, especially trying to build out of the back. I really like what Betts is doing for UNLV. Acting as that sweeper keeper, switching the ball from right to left, left to right.
Well, action here along the near side, just underneath our location. And it's going to be a USF kick. Don's up a man. There was a player red carded in the first half, removed from the contest, defender Nick Williams, who picked up the yellow card and then the red card just a few minutes later. Williams was none too happy with the call, but he had to leave the action. The Dons have had that one-man advantage ever since. They were kind of outplaying UNLV before that happened. They've really been able to play keep away, especially here in this second half. They've controlled a lot of possession time. Here's Bradara. Bradara has Higgins, and he overshot him. I don't know if Bradara was just thinking about shooting at the goal or maybe didn't see Higgins, but boy, if he lays that down a little bit softer, Higgins may have a goal.
I agree, and I think there was a clear shot by Sandro Bradara. Wasn't on target, but I think that's what he was thinking about.
Yeah, but he had his teammate out ahead of him.
And that's where USF needs to improve. They're breaking lines with this man advantage from the backs to the midfields. They're getting up front. They need to do a better job with that final touch in the offensive third.
All right, Betts moving it around. We're down to 17 minutes left in this contest. Don's trying to pick up win number 2 in front 1-0.
And the referee changes. Oh, okay.
Interesting call. Yeah, no, it looked like at first he called a free kick for UNLV. Then for a moment, Joe, like what you said, I thought he was going to change the call back to USF. But he does give it to UNLV.
What he did there was let UNLV have a bit of an advantage. They lost the advantage, so then he called the original foul, which was back about 10 yards.
Ball way ahead to Serpa, the USF defender. Now Reynolds. Reynolds trying to just maintain possession. And it's going to go out of bounds. A wide kick from Kajitani. 1-0 Dons, 16 minutes to go. Dons have outshot the Rebels 17-6 today. And way up the field from Simeon. Hey, Dons fans, we'd like to welcome a new sponsor to USF Athletics, iWallet. iWallet, the easy way to pay with your phone. iWallet, a proud sponsor of USF Soccer.
Pat, if you load my wallet, I will gladly pay with my iWallet.
There you go, but I got to load it for you first. I'm not sure that's a good deal for me. But we get another little plug-in for iWallet, so there you go. New USF sponsor.
Sounds good. Convenience.
Higgins near midfield, but the Rebels have it. You can see, here, Joe, you just sense that UNLV is, even though they're down a man, playing with the real true sense of urgency, down 1-0. The Rebels have been active the last 5, 6, 7 minutes. They've applied some pressure on. They've had a chance or two. They're down 1-0.
Yep, they're active and they're aggressive. They're not going away, but they have very, very little up front. As you can see, they're playing wide. They're playing side to side. They really haven't shown any ability to play in the middle or get the ball in front of the goal. A lot of time left. We'll see what happens.
Still over 14:45 to go. Don's front line has shifted around a bit since early in the contest. No Vanderwerf right now. Ruiz went out with the hamstring injury. So it has a little bit different feel, the USF forward attacking line.
And one of the keys for success for USF that I mentioned earlier was a more disciplined approach defensively. And you can hear Leonard Griffin preaching to his players, no need for a foul. Don't foul. These 50-50 balls, a lot of times in midfield, all you need to do is contain. And so I'm not sure if we've seen any yellow cards tonight for USF.
We're now watching the clock come to a stop here with 14:10 remaining, and now they're going to start to swing the clock again here in a minute. Still at 14:10 to go.
Well, everyone asks me, what's the rule with the yellow cards and the stoppage and the referee? So it's much, much different in college versus in the regular game, like let's say an adult league game. They don't stop the clock. It's always at the discretion of the referee. But here, they do stop it on yellow cards and cautions, but they don't typically stop it in plays like this where there wasn't a caution. So I throw my hands up and say, I'm learning all the time.
Yep. Rebels with possession. 13:40 to play. Shot way high from the right side of the box. Not the best angle there, but the Rebels need to put shots on. The shot advantage is now 17-7. Dons lead 1-0. Stiver eyeballing the UNLV alignment and seeing where he wants to go with it. Looks like he's aimed it ahead to Martin, who sneaks it off his head over to Higgins. Good opportunity here. That was a nice ball. See if the Dons can run out. Reynolds kind of taking his time. Now he turns on the afterburners, but The ball gets taken away from Reynolds.
And that was a very good defensive play by UNLV. You like to see Reynolds take that player on. Yes, he lost it, but again, that's the right decision to make.
Tyler Allen was the UNL defender that took it away from Reynolds.
Yeah, really stayed disciplined, Tyler Allen did. Really focused on the ball, didn't go for all the jukes and jakes of Jaden Reynolds.
Now USF, Higgins trying to get after it. Bradara putting pressure on Betts, the goalie. It's out to midfield and Simeon. Simeon trying to swing and turn left. He does. Gets it ahead to Martin. Martin knocked down, a foul. And so USF, that's going to be a yellow card, a shove. So USF will have a kick there. And the yellow card comes, I think it was against Bailey Leatherman.
Rich Ryerson, the UNLV coach, saying he won the ball. Why is there a caution? I didn't really see much in the foul, to be honest with you, and that's not in USF's favor to have all these stoppages of play.
Yeah, you just give UNLV, the team that's down a goal, a chance to kind of settle and get set. You want the action to keep moving, especially when you have the one-man advantage. So here's Chata. USF sending 4 players towards the box. See where Chata heads with it. It's delivered into the right side of the box and just right. It was a header try there by Sharalagi, and it goes off the backside and just to the right. But USF will have a chance here with a corner kick. So the corner kick, it's going to be Chata from the right corner. This is just the second corner kick of the day for USF.
And Ashish Chata is very good at set pieces. Look for him to put this about the 10-yard spot, 12 yards away from the goalie.
Here it is. Good ball from Chata, cleared out by the Rebels.
And I believe that was Allen again clearing it out for UNLV. He's been solid.
So UNLV will have a free kick for Betts, the goalie. We're approaching 11 minutes to go. Don's in front 1-0. USF, I've said it many times here, Joe, they'd love to tack on a goal, but they've not been able to do it, to the credit of the UNLV defense here.
Yes, but good teams find a way to put the ball in the back of the net. And yes, they've had 17 shots to UNLV's 7, but they need to get results out of their shots.
Kick ahead to Reynolds. Reynolds being pinned in. And finally it goes out off Reynolds. It's a UNLV throw. So this will allow the Rebels to put a little pressure on. And this is dangerous and then cleared out by Chata. Boy, that was not a good situation developing for USF. And now we have a Don's player down. Nathan Simeon is rolling around right along the back line.
And I think he's going to be able to get up. He's a tough young man. Referee calls off the trainer.
And Simeon does get up under his own power. 10:21 to play. Clock stopped at the moment at 10:21.
It seemed like the referee was asking the fourth referee and the clock technician to add some time. I'm not sure if they're doing this. Don't really understand that or agree with it, but usually they add time on afterwards.
But again, as you alluded to earlier, Joe, just a little bit different in college soccer than it is in the professional game or on the international level with the way they handle the time and stoppages. They do add time on. 10:33 now is our time remaining. So our scoreboard's about maybe 13, 14 seconds different from the scoreboard here at Negawesco Stadium. So we're a little bit ahead. 10:19, 10:18. We're about 13 seconds off. Now it's going to be an opportunity here. This is blasted into the box. Dangerous. A header and wide. That was a chance for UNLV.
And that's got to be Ruben Stiver's ball. The UNLV striker, was that Billy Jones?
Yes.
Looks like he got a clear header within about 4 yards of the goal. Referee stopping the clock for some reason here.
And now resuming it.
And this is very atypical. Don't often see this in college soccer.
9:48 to go. Bradara ahead to Sharalagi.
Number 13, Number 25, David Paulson, replacing number 14,
momentum has definitely swung a little bit for UNLV here in the last few minutes. They're staying persistently in their own offensive half. Here we go with...
And a tough tackle and a foul. You alluded to it, Joe. The momentum is shifted, and UNLV is, you know, you can just feel the Rebels' sense of urgency, trailing 1-0 in a game where they probably should really be down 2 or 3 goals. And I mean that with all due respect to UNLV. It's just that USF has outplayed the Rebels today. They've been up a man for much of the contest. But here UNLV is still in the game late, and they sense that, and they know that just 1 goal can change things in a hurry here. And so they've applied a lot of pressure on. 4:37 remaining with the clock stop.
Pat, I agree with everything you said, and I think that alludes to a well-coached team for UNLV. They are putting the pieces in the right place, trying to defend USF, and they've done so majority of the game.
Getting a little bit breezier here at Negawesco Stadium for our final 4:20. The Dons are hoping it's the final 4:20. UNLV would love to have the game extend. They would need a goal to do that. It's 1-0 USF. After it here now is David Polson, a defender from Orange. .358 and ticking. So just under 4 minutes. You know,
wow.
It's been a little bit chippy here, Joe, this second half. Not so much by the players, but the way the referees have called it. They've stopped the clock a number of times. They've stopped play, they've stopped momentum, and they do it again.
And that's in UNLV's favor, in my opinion.
Here comes Reynolds. Reynolds with an opportunity. Bradara, they bump into each other. Sharalagi, can he turn, twist? And no, he cannot. It goes out.
Corner kick for USF.
And the Dons get a corner kick chance with 3.5 minutes to go. Here's an excellent opportunity for USF to tack on to this 1-0 lead for the moment if they can get something going here.
UNLV wasting their own time. They need to be 10 yards away.
Yeah, we're down to 3:10 to go. Well, they set something kind of different up. Sharalagi into Martin. Martin doing a little hesitation, crossing it, and then cleared by the Rebels. We're down to 2:55 left.
And that's a set play, and that worked really, really well for USF, drawing 3-4 defenders in and then getting by them.
Here's a kick ahead to Sharalagi. He's onside. Sharalagi going up the turf, and then it's kicked out, and that's a corner again for USF. Now down to 2:34 to play. Clock moving now to 2:28 to go.
Let's see if they can do it again here.
They do it again. Sharalagi, defender draped all over him. This time it's cleared out by the Rebels. 2:15 to go. Gonzalez, and then right there is Simeon. Nice ball. Simeon ahead to Martin. Martin up the right side of the pitch. Martin drops it off over to Reynolds. Reynolds back to Martin. Now under 2 minutes to play. Don's playing keep away around to Simeon, and then back to Stiver at goalie. 1:50 to play. Don's 1, UNLV nothing.
USF showing a lot of composure here. As you said, playing keep away, even going in the back, making some of us nervous.
Yep, here's Martin. Martin to Bradara, and it goes out. It'll be a goal kick for Betts. Not a lot of time for UNLV, under 90 seconds to play. Don's trying to get to 2 and 3 and drop UNLV to 2 and 4. And then the Dons will get ready for a road game at Sac State this coming Thursday. Next home soccer game will be the women on Friday against Montana. The men take on Fullerton State here at home 1 week from today. And this goes out with 51 seconds left. UNLV maybe one more push. Let's see how they handle it. It goes out off of UNLV. And so now it's the Dons' turn with 40 seconds to go ahead to Bradara.
And that's a really good, quick restart, finding Bradara by himself.
Bradara gets tackled, loses possession, 25 seconds to go. Last chance for the Rebels. Gonzalez kicking ahead. Simeon, can he clear it away? He gets it over to Serpa. 15 seconds to go. This might do it. 13 seconds left. Wren over to Betts. 8 seconds to go. Betts chasing it with 5 seconds left. Betts, big blast. 3, 2, 1. Game over. And the USF Dons have knocked off the UNLV Rebels 1-0. And Joe, you know, the Dons could have won maybe a bit more convincingly, but the key thing, end of the day, you look up at the scoreboard, and you've got more goals than the other team, and you got a victory.
Absolutely, and that's what was needed. Very tough start to the USF season. Small steps. This is just another step in the right direction after Thursday night's victory. Now they have 2 wins. Their confidence is going to go up twofold. It's all about small steps, building that confidence, building that team rhythm and continuity, finding that team that's going to work for Leonard Griffin and how they want to play and how he wants to play.
Well, Joe, next up, the Dons go on the road. They play at Sacramento State. We know it's tough to win on the road, but it's an opportunity for USF now. The Dons have won 2 straight to keep the momentum going, continue to stay on the winning side.
Absolutely. And this is a new team. They need this confidence. And boy, do they really deserve this victory today.
All right, we'd like to thank our broadcast crew, our director and executive producer today, Woo Win. On replay, Ryan Alverson. On camera, Anna Sokran and Sasha Tahir Gabi. We hope we said that right. Were we close? Kind of. All right. We apologize, Sasha. But I don't even know if did they even spell it right? All right. Well, that's the problem. There we go. Well, we gave it a whirl, Sasha. But
yes, you did.
All right, Sasha, we appreciate your work on camera. All right. We thank all the folks here at USF for their fine support this afternoon. Joe, it's always fun working with you. I know that Charles Wolin will be back on the microphone when the men are back home here next Sunday. And, of course, before that, you have the women at home on Friday against Montana. They lost a heartbreaker today, 2-1 in overtime on the road at Northeastern. So they'll make a long trek across the country, and they'll get ready to take on Montana on Friday. That's your next USF home soccer match. 415-422-2USF to get your tickets, so you can go online at usfdons.com.
Pat, great working with you. You're a true pro, and I hope you come back soon.
I'll be back. I think there's another game on the schedule. I'm going to fill in for Charles a bit later on in the season. And, of course, I'll be microphone side for all the home volleyball. And, hey, it's coming just around the corner, Joe. Men's basketball. We're getting ready for season number 1 under Todd Golden.
Should be fun. And I always look forward to you calling the games.
All right, final 1-0. Dons, they improved their record to 2-3. UNLV has lost a number of close games now. They drop to 2-4. For Joe Dugan and our entire broadcast crew, Pat Olson saying thanks for watching and so long from the hilltop.